not good. You're just gonna have to live with it. I don't know if you can see me. I'll turn off my radio. I am approaching San Antonio, the greater San Antonio area, we'll just say. And I'm a couple hundred miles away. Been in Texas all day. Slept in a rest stop last night because the extravagant lifestyles of a YouTuber. My entire YouTube life is in this car, and I wasn't about to park it in a hotel in fucking La Cruces, Mexico. New Mexico. Or Mexico. Is there a difference now? I don't know. I wish I had my soundboard. So, I'm sorry I can't, talk amongst yourselves. I'm driving, so I can't, read the chat. I apologize. But, yeah, Texas is a trip. For one, it's all limestone. That's all it is. And oil. But it's free. It's fucking free. I'm so fucking happy to be out of California. The only little bit of sadness I have in my heart is my mom didn't want to go to Texas, but she's going to stay with my big sister, so that's cool. She's taken care of. But I'm closer to my other mom and my little sister who live in Albuquerque, so that's good. And I'm free. Did I mention that? I'm free. There's no fucking mandates here. It looks like normal life. There's no fucking masks. I think I saw a couple people wearing masks, but they have a right to do that. That's fine. If you want to wear a mask the rest of your life, that's fine. I don't care. What's been great is keeping up with all the Lord of the Rings stuff. Holy shit. That has been, as I said on Twitter, it is, the Lord of the Rings fans have generated a white pill moment. For all those people who say your voice doesn't matter, who say that you're seeing things, it's not that big of a deal. How can you judge something before you watch it? Well, if you're a normie and you're coming from it not totally paying attention because you're out busy, you're running the world. I have a take on that, by the way, that hopefully I remember to get to later. But there's also, the detractors out there who want to demoralize you. Detractors come in all shapes and sizes, by the way. They want to demoralize you so you'll give up. So there's content creators who don't want to be in the fight anymore, which I completely respect. I'm sure to some it can be tiresome. I am nowhere near that. I think I always knew this would, well, for one, to invoke my good friend George, the Giant Slayer. That's what we're doing. We're trying to slay a giant, and the fact that if we could even make him bleed a drop of blood and acknowledge us, maybe change will come. You don't know if you don't try. You don't know if you don't try. George! That's right. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I wish I could read that. Best of luck with the move. This is really dangerous. Thank you very much. I am following Mrs. Nerdrotic. We have been caravanning, kind of like in the Old West, except we're not being attacked. We don't have to circle any wagons. My wife is 1/16th Native American, which came in handy because I traded a bottle of whiskey and some beads to her dad for her hand in marriage. That was a terrible joke. I don't have 14 writers. So, yeah, it's been great watching all of this Lord of the Rings stuff. I've watched every single damn video. And you know what? No, not everybody has the same take, which is great, which is perfectly fine. If you like the trailer, that's great. You know, my trailer reaction, that was probably the shortest time I have taken to record a video in years. I recorded that in about an hour because that's all I had, because I was packing up the house. I have a lot more to say on it, so as soon as I get home, I'm going to tour my house that I have not seen, and then I'm going to make a video because I've been dying to make a video on this because I have so much more to say. Just Some Guy has done 2 brilliant videos. Yellow Flash, RK Outpost, they're all doing great videos. Love those guys. Eric July, shout out to Eric July. But yeah, the trailer, it's not the trailer itself. The trailer told you nothing. It was generic. It was whatever. It was generic fantasy. But it's the message sent, which was, we're not going to prioritize story. We're going to show you what isn't Tolkien, what we're going to improve on, because now you're starting to see it, and like, this isn't new, by the way, folks, but you're seeing it has been going on for decades. That's why I've made videos on it. They have been, the academics have been circling this too, because this is a fandom with scholars. I am not one of those scholars, by the way. I would never, ever label myself as a scholar or an expert on anything. I can always learn more. Hell, the whole way out, I've been listening to the Silmarillion. It's so good. And I know a lot of people don't really love the Silmarillion. It's, you got to really love Lord of the Rings to like the Silmarillion, okay? But with the trailer, as it stands by itself, again, it's generic, but they wanted to make sure that, all that stuff that Tolkien missed in his own story, we're going to show you. That is the bad robot modus operandi 101. That is bad reboot 101. Is this a bad reboot production technically? No. Does it have a hell of a lot of people from Bad Reboot attached to it? Yes, including the rumor that came from OneRing.net that some people from Bad Reboot were brought in to get the series back on track. So, Galadriel is, she's a pretty well fleshed out character. There are some points, for one, there's a lot of confusion with this character because there's a lot of contradictions from Tolkien himself. There's a giant essay from like 10 years ago that maybe I'll share out, or maybe I'll read in a live stream at some point. It's fucking long, so we'll just break it down in bullet points with all these contradictions in it. And I hear, because I've been on the road, that Vanity Fair made a mistake in their article that she's not commanding the Northern Army. So I only heard that, by the way. I have not seen it with my own eyes, so I have to verify that they have said that I was able to. I'm back now. Was I gone? Okay. So I've been getting a lot of chatter, little chitter chatter from this. If I dip in and out, I'm sorry. I can't even see if this is a good live stream. I don't know if I'm near a fucking cell tower because I don't even see a building. For anybody, by the way, I'll just hold my phone up real quick. For all the people who talk about overpopulation, once we go and now we don't have a good view. Shit. Hang on. This is totally dangerous. For all the people, yeah, overpopulation. It's such a problem on the planet. Fucking shut up. All right, where was I? Hopefully I'm back live. Hey, 900 people watching. Right on. 578 likes. Thank you. This is not a car video. This is a FJ Cruiser video. That is packed to the fucking gills. You can probably see behind me. I cannot see out my rearview mirror. There's certain things I would not let the movers touch, including, can I show it? Can you see it? My TARDIS. You can see a piece of one right there. My custom TARDIS, which are sitting in my passenger seat. Oh, there's a big tower. Hopefully that's a cell tower. Okay. So it's been great watching The Lord of the Rings faster. See all of their tactics. Keeps on saying you're live, so I'm guessing I keep bouncing. I don't know. I'm just gonna keep talking, and hopefully I make some sense. But oh yeah, I'm like in a cliff, in between two cliffs right now. Shit. We'll wait till I'm away from these. 3, 2, 1. I'm just gonna say you're live again, and it did. Okay. All right. Their tactics are going to be demoralization, call you a racist, a white supremacist, blah, blah, blah. Then they're going to say you're not a fan. So after they accuse you of gatekeeping, they're going to say you're not a fan. So let's make this real fucking clear. I don't care if you haven't read the books. You can be just as much of a Lord of the Rings fan if you just like the fucking movies. I'm not that kind of person. I like, it's great if you are a lore master, and if you're new, you're always welcome. The one thing we nerds like to do is share our knowledge and exchange it. We might test each other once in a while, and that's fine. So that's the other bullshit tactic they're going to take. Amazon knew this was going to happen. They were locked and loaded. I was hoping against hope this wouldn't happen, but it did. And now they got a little bit of a problem on their hands because I think the American trailer is about to get ratioed. The UK trailer is ratioed. And I know we got Susan Wojcicki, or Mama Susan's out there talking. There's all of a sudden all this talk about they're going to regulate toxic content. Like, how in the fuck are you going to do that? Part of me wants to say that YouTube is trying to appease their masters while behind the scenes they're trying to keep people on. I don't know that though. I just don't know. I'll have to get more information on that as well. I hope this stream is okay. If it's shit, then I can restart it when I'm a little closer to a city. But I'm not seeing any chat right now at all. So I'm sorry. But I'll just keep talking. Fuck it. Watching that quote get repeated over and over again, watching the ratio, it's brilliant. This is something we wished would happen with Star Wars. I mean, let's be real. And Doctor Who. And Star Trek. So, why didn't it happen with Star Wars? Well, I think we were close. Then The Mandalorian came out. And all those keys got jangled, and a lot of people from our sphere checked in. I checked in at some point. I never really liked it. And I was always up front. I'm only checking in for Gina. And I was always up front with that. It's because I liked the cut of her gym and Twitter. That was it. I still didn't care about Star Wars. Doctor Who, I think Doctor Who fans, that's a different breed as well, because that's part of national pride, so people are going to hold out more. But I do think we might be, I think there's a 0.0001% chance we might get some change with Doctor Who. Star Trek, I think it's lost for now. I think it can be resurrected in 20 years, maybe. I heard there's going to be a Star Trek 4. Oh, good. I am so happy that they're going to release a theatrical Star Trek film, which will bomb. It will flop so miserably. It will be massive. And then we'll finally know. Then we'll have our, well, we already know, but we'll have our evidence that we have been, well, waiting for CBS or Viacom or Paramount, whatever their name is this week, to provide us with. Show us the fucking numbers. But as I said earlier, we were getting a little bit of chirping that Amazon is not very happy with their reaction. I'm sure this surprises absolutely nobody. So you pay all this money to buy your way into a fandom, and then you attack them. That's the first thing you do. I mean, Amazon had the power to probably look at that Vanity Fair article and go, you know, could you leave the troll part out? Maybe put in, there are some concerns with the fans. We want to tell you right now that we're going to try to make the best Lord of the Rings possible. We're going to make it as close to Tolkien as possible. But they can't say that because that would be a lie. They had no intention of making it as close to Tolkien as possible, or they would have just used characters that they already had. If you want to add a couple, fine. That's no problem. There's a lot of ways you could have done it, and Lord of the Rings fans, including myself, wouldn't have said a word. Wouldn't have said a word. And hey, if this thing's great, like I said in every one of my videos damn near, I will eat my fucking crow. I have no problem with that. Because it would be better for the world if we had just a good TV show to talk about. But watching the fandom come together with, it's been a great week. On the Texas front, like I said, I've just been driving. My ass is fucking falling asleep about an hour ago. I've been driving since noon yesterday. Slept at the rest stop for like 5 hours. Got up and just started driving. There's not much to report. I had a pretty good pulled pork sandwich at Dickey's at Fort Stockton. Yeah, Fort Stockton, Texas. And it's windy. That's about it. I lost 2 hours of time. I'm born and bred in California, lived there all my life. I think the longest I've been out of my time zone was when I went to London for a couple weeks. So this is going to be different. I also noticed that I tried to look up everything I could about this, like stuff way later here than it does in California, which I like. I'm fine with that. Oh, now I'm back. Yeah, this is pissing me off. Well, I should have expected this. Yeah, so Garrett has seen my house and I haven't. And I haven't seen my boys, my two sons, in a couple of months. I haven't seen my dogs in a couple of months. So yeah, I cannot wait to get back. I'm gonna, just to repeat what I said earlier, I'm gonna tour my house, then I gotta make a video. Garrett sent me an article that I want to do a video on. It's Lord of the Rings, obviously. No sleep for the YouTube content creator. As far as California is concerned, so they lifted the mask mandate. It was supposed to be the day I left, but I ended up staying an extra day. And it was big news in San Diego. There was like, we're preparing to lift the mask mandate. Businesses are bringing in extra employees. And it was a total flop. Nobody came out. Everybody's still wearing their fucking masks. It's like nothing changed. And that was a sign from the universe of like, fuck, thank God I'm leaving. And I mean, there's a point where you got to blame the people a little bit too. I mean, again, if you want to wear a mask, fine. But they have been assaulted with fear porn for 2 years now. California has had mandates, has had emergency restrictions in place for almost 2 years. March 16th or March 20th will be 2 years. 2 fucking years. And there's no end in sight. And then we see all these assholes at the Super Bowl without their masks on. And LA County's not even lifting the mask mandate. Because they have a corpse who's their health supervisor. most unhealthy looking health supervisor I've ever seen. Somebody, oh God, I wish I remember. Somebody sent me a picture that she looked like the zombie that they captured in Return of the Living Dead. And remember the scene where they tied it down? And they're like, why do you want to eat brains? Because being dead hurts. More brains. Oh my God, I found my more brains button that I got on opening night of Return of the Living Dead back in '86, I think it was. Can't believe it. I haven't seen that thing in fucking couple of decades. That's what happens when you move. You find shit. You lose other shit, and then you find shit. You know how it goes. Oh, we're slowing up here. So let's see if I can bring. There we go. I hit the button that took off. The Unabomber is back. Yes, I'm the It's cold. Okay. Yeah, at the rest stop, there's no fucking snack machines, and it was 31 degrees, and I'm sleeping in my car, and I can't like leave my seat back. So yeah, it's here. I'll be less Unabombery. How's that? Does that make you guys feel more comfortable? Do you feel safer now? I feel safer. I am going 85 miles an hour headed to, I got a compass. FJ's have a compass. It's kind of rad. Due east. Am I heading due east? Yes, I'm heading due east right now. Oh my God, I just want this drive to be over. Where am I? I'm at Maynard Junction. For all you Texans. Quick story. I bought this FJ Cruiser from Texas because it was about $2,000 cheaper to buy it from Texas, have it towed to California. That's how fucked up California is. That was back in 2016 when I bought this. Now it's returning. Now it's returning. What is the chat? Show up chat. Let's do. There we go. I love my FJ. My 2011 fully loaded FJ. I just like the color blue. It was, what was that? It was, I keep on wanting to say Confederate blue, but it's not Confederate blue. It's cavalry blue. Cavalry blue. I'm now at Martinez Junction. So yeah, this Lord of the Rings thing is going to be such a mess because they can't change anything on fly. They're filming season 2 as we speak. I guess the first couple of episodes are going to be a history of Middle Earth, which I would be interested in seeing. I totally would be interested in seeing. As far as it matching up, I agree with the assessment. Like, if it was going to match up to anything, it would be The Hobbit. But it looks way more like Narnia. I think that's a spot-on description of what... It was just a 1-minute trailer. And, again, they knew they had problems because we haven't seen shit until now. If you are proud of your work, for example, I can't say who, obviously, but I'll just say I got a friend who may work in and around the sphere of Marvel and Disney, who is so just because I guess I just popped off again, so I'll repeat this. I have a friend in the Marvel and Disney realm, who I won't say, who has been telling me since day one that Doctor Strange is going to be great. Going to be a bonkers, fun movie. And this is the same friend who told me Eternal is going to be shit. So, it's hard for me to keep an open mind because fucking America Chavez, but if she's only in it for like a couple minutes, maybe, I don't know. Or if they make her a likable character, that's fine too. If they use her lore, her recent lore from the comic books, it'll be lame and cringe as hell. She's from Utopia. She's got two moms. It was a natural birth between the two moms. And yeah, that kind of shit. But no, my friend is telling me that now this movie's gonna be awesome. So okay. But through another friend, I heard concern for Lord of the Rings a long time ago. Like a very long time ago. And it's not hard to figure out. You would fucking think that if you want to endear yourself to Tolkien fans, for one, you don't fucking fire Tom Shippey for giving an unsanctioned interview. For one, in the interview, he didn't say anything bad. He just said, hey, here's what we can or can't use. So that means Amazon doesn't want you to know what they have the rights to and what they don't have the rights to. They have kept it a mystery until very recently, where it's come out that they do not have the rights to the Silmarillion, which I knew all along. They do not have the rights to the Silmarillion, even though some of the actors were shown taking pictures reading the Silmarillion, which became a bit of a problem because now those rights and other rights are up for sale. Now I'm a day behind on the news, so shit could have changed. But if you want to endear yourself to Tolkien fans, I would, I don't know, show the characters that look the most familiar. They don't have to sound the one, because you're not going to know who most of these are, but like look the most familiar. And I saw just some guy talk about Gandalf possibly. There's no fucking way Gandalf can be in this. I mean, okay, yes, they would put Gandalf in it. Yes, absolutely. Now my son's messaging me. My youngest son is a crack-up. Because what he does is he watches like Ryan's videos and Jeremy from the Quartering and Geeks and Gamers, and then he wants to talk to me about them. He wants a commentary. It's so funny. He's a good boy. So they knew, like, it was a priority to them to show us what they did. And what they thought was they could get away with. Say the normies would be easier to lure if it wasn't for The Hobbit. If The Hobbit didn't exist and it was just the Lord of the Rings trilogy, the normies would be easier to lure. But they're not because of The Hobbit, and more normies are waking up to the nonsense that's going on. I talked to from Christian from Hollywood and Toto, and we discussed this a little bit, that more and more people are waking up. And I'm sorry if I sound like a broken record on this, but that's why we as in our sphere of individuals who run their own individual channels the way they like, come to this common ground and keep making these videos to try to inform people and speak our mind. That's it. Simply speak our mind. It's an opinion. I know, again, I've gotten a lot of great feedback from the videos, and I really appreciate that. And they had a couple of concerns that were really well thought out and nice. And like I said, I always read those. Those are really very cool. Then there's the usual. But it's not as much as I expected, which was nice. Which was nice. My phone keeps falling back. There's this cool little compartment in the dashboard of usually like on the passenger side, an airbag would go. You pop up the little lid and you can put your phone right there. It's like having a little screen right behind your steering wheel. My son keeps messaging me. It's distracting. So Amazon, because as it stands, they have a $250 million turn. That's just to get the rights. They spend another $250 million more. When it's all said and done, this will be well over $1 billion. And if they don't hit it out of the park in the first season, especially with fantasy, most normies aren't like quick to run to fantasy. It's a tough sell. And they are committed to 5 seasons over that is adapting appendices. That's why they wanted to keep it a secret, because they're adapting appendices, which is difficult at best, especially when you have a couple of hack writers for bad reboot. And maybe they have competition. I haven't seen anything from the anime Lord of the Rings that they announced. I'm going to look at that when I get home. But that might actually be good. Who knows? Who fucking knows? Ah, shit. Sorry, folks, give me a second. I'm trying to... Even though I can't, like, read the chat, I like to see that it's there. Okay. It's important. Sorry about the glare. There's not much I can do about that. All right. Wow, 1,700 people. You guys are crazy. What's going on? Yeah, it's so weird not going on YouTube for an entire day to even watch videos. I caught up on a couple. I watched Ryan's and Eric's and a couple of the quartering, which were all bad news. It's only a matter of time. I mean, they're going for the political people first, but you know, those of us who have a voice, and for one, they can't. They can go after me or somebody else. There'll be somebody else. That's why I always say, pick up a mic, get on YouTube. You might need to like replace one of us, or be the new one, or add to the voice. We're not, at least I'm not one of those channels who's gonna kick the ladder out, right? Like a lot of big YouTube. I mean, and when I mean big, actual big YouTubers, like tens of millions of subs. And so many have done. So many of them done. They have contributed to the problems. But like, you know, Ethan Klein is a great example of somebody who's kicked the ladder out from behind him and done his best to silence voices, including Leafy. F in the chat for Leafy. And yeah, when you poke the bear that is the $1 trillion company Amazon, it's watching the fandom react this way. It's fucking impressive. I am so proud of the fandom, and it's a damn shame it couldn't have been like this with Star Wars. I saw a part of Eric's video where he talked about the lore from DC being messed with, and or he talked specifically with Marvel being turned into a net betting, and that's where he and I agree completely. I think that was an abomination what they did, turning Marvel into a net betting. That is 1000% intersectional casting, and that's specifically what I am talking about when I criticize the trailer and these articles, is the messages that they're saying in all but word. This is going to be a very intersectional Tolkien, which is the direct opposite of his values based on everything I've read about the man. One of the things I love watching, and I have an LP. I have a vinyl record of Tolkien interviews and him reading some of Lord of the Rings. One's a bootleg, it's a fucking bootleg, and the other one was actually printed and produced. And I can't say I know for sure because I didn't know the man, obviously. But I would bet a lot. That his values are the direct opposite of intersectional values, which aren't values at all, unless you call it dividing a value, which some do, I guess. Wish I could read the chat. I really do. So we haven't seen this kind of a reaction before, and I think everybody's kind of they're pleasantly surprised by this. I am. I fully expected the norm after the trailer drop, and listen, it's a very reasonable take to say, hey, it's just a trailer. But there's more to it than the trailer, like I have said repeatedly. This is about the messaging that Amazon has insisted on putting out there, and it blew up in their $1 trillion faces. Can they weather the storm? Sure, it's a $1 trillion fucking company. Oh man, it's gonna be a fun 9 months. No, it's less than that now. I keep thinking that it's September, so it's going to be 7 months away now. 7 months away. 6 or 7 months away. Oh, hang on. I got a directional change here. Okay. Oh boy. I do not want to go to Austin. I heard AOC was in Austin recently. Get the fuck out of my state. So yeah, it's a bit strange moving to a state. I mean, I've driven through Texas before, stayed here when I was a kid, camped. Been to Dallas before, but when I was a kid. The only time I've been here as an adult was last year when we came here to quote-unquote house hunt in person for a week. And then we did the rest pretty much over our phones. Oh man, these poor Texans. You can see, they see our California plates and they just roll their fucking eyes. And we are not alone. There are so many of us coming out here. Even in fucking February. I can't imagine what it's going to be like in the summer. But they don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You're not going to vote like a Texan. So, what are the big plans for the channel? Well, I gotta unpack all my shit. Oh, like my stuff doesn't get here until the 22nd. It's on an 18-wheeler. I've got enough to get a live stream going and cut a video, but the office is gonna look very empty for a couple, 3 weeks, maybe a month, until I get it put up. And then we gotta get everything set up with Quarterblack Garrett, who has joined Nerderotic, which is awesome. Then we got some big plans. I can't say much, so I've already said too much. But we're going to be, the Nerderotic Dooner is upping to 3 days a week, and on Wednesdays we will have Chris Gore joining us, which is fucking awesome. Man, again, let's take a look at the overpopulation. Yeah, so concerned about it. Sorry, but did I make you dizzy? All right. Yeah, again, I have no idea how well this live stream is coming through. I could be just talking to my fucking self right now, which would not be unusual. So I've been listening to the Silmarillion. Oh, Elric came out on audiobook, a brand new reading, which is fucking great. I got through the first 2 books. Well, it's multiple books, but it's it's so fucking good, and I think completely unadaptable. Well, kind of like Lord of the Rings is now. See, here's the issue, which we can bring up at any debate. The reason Amazon did not make an accurate depiction of something from Tolkien is because they feel they can't. Now, some still might say that's ridiculous. You own the rights. You can make whatever you want. It's a very logical statement, and you would be right. But Hollywood has new rules now, and you have to abide by these rules. And they changed. Since the time Amazon purchased the rights of Lord of the Rings, the rules of Hollywood have changed, and they feel they cannot make an accurate depiction of Tolkien. They think somehow that if they were to make an accurate show, a Tolkienian show, it would be, and I shit you not, it would be reinforcing white supremacy. Yes, that's what they're afraid of. Because this bullshit narrative has been pushed for so fucking long. And it's great that people are waking up to this and seeing that it's complete bullshit, but it's been allowed to go for so long that we now have people entrenched in these beliefs. And this is going to be a very, very fucking difficult thing to remove from our reality. And I don't know. We're just going to have to keep calling it out, and this might sound strange, but in the same way that we have been, and I would say the same way that, again, I'm a day behind on the news, so if something happened, forgive me. But with our trucker friends in Canada, honk honk, their sense of play during their protests with the bouncy castle and shit, that is brilliant. That is masterfully brilliant. That's how you fight. We have to do the same thing, because we can get mad at the SJWs all day long, but they have the ear of the creatives. They have the ear of the executives. How did they get that ear? They were persistent, in some cases patient, and they have been infiltrating for a long time. Has this been some big plan? Well, I don't know. I still think it just happened. Well, it happened because, for one, they tend to lean left, but there is many different shades to left, and now we have a fundamentalist side that has taken over. So just simply making something accurate to a book, respecting the lore, is now reinforcing white supremacy. It's insane, and it's happening. And we have been waiting for the moment to where they took one step too far. And this might be the moment. Hopefully it is. Will we get change from this? God, I hope so. Will this, Amazon's Lord of the Rings because it's not connected to Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings, and that's the one big secret they wanted to keep, because they want you to think it is, but they don't own the rights to that. They don't own the rights to Lord of the Rings. So just some guy mentioned in the opening that he thinks that's the Grey Havens, and it might be, but they can't make it look exactly like the Grey Havens because they don't own the rights to the Lord of the Rings. They own the rights to the appendices. They have to make something brand new. So this is a prequel to nothing. It's a prequel to nothing. So at least in that way, they can't say go back and make, you know, a Frodo a girl like they did with Doctor Who. You know, they can't go back and or go forward in this case, and damage the thing we've seen. But we're sick and tired of seeing this shit, because we know what the message is. It's bigger. It's bigger than Lord of the Rings. It's bigger than Star Wars. It's bigger than Marvel Comics. We've always said this. This is reinforcing a lot of stuff that is very divisive, that is very bad for our culture. They tell you you don't have a culture. That our culture was stolen. We stole it from other people. It's very progressive academic point of view. But again, this is and I've got a little clap back on this, and I won't back down from it. And this is what happens when the right completely abandons art and culture. I think some, and I'm talking specifically about pundits. We're talking about pundits, people who have a say or had a say in cultural news, with pop culture, just completely abandoned it or didn't take it that seriously. And I've seen some bad takes, and it's uninformed takes. Sun's going down, big guy. Sun's going down. Yeah, we got 1,900 people watching. Oh wait, no, 2,100 people watching. We have 1,900 likes. I'm also, because I'm a boomer, I was listening to the only channel I have on my Sirius XM, which I am canceling as soon as I get to my house, and I'll tell you why. So, and I've been listening to Ozzy's Boneyard, which has been great. But they ran an ad. They ran an ad for Neil Young. They have a special Neil Young channel for those, because of his little controversy with the podcaster. So they decided, hey, they're capitalists, they're going to try to monetize the Joe Rogan controversy, but fuck Sirius for doing that. Fuck Neil Young, fuck Sirius. I don't need it anyway. Listen, it was nice to listen to some fucking Sabbath on the way out, okay? A lot of Sabbath, a lot of Dio. It's good driving music. But I can make my own mixes. So, oh man, I was gonna bring up that tape again. What was it? What was it? I'll remember in a second. Or not. Again, I don't know. Let's do that. Okay. There we go. Nice tats. Oh, thanks. Neil. Yeah, Neil Old. Neil Old. Fuck that guy. I've never fucking liked his music. I think I'd rather stick a pencil in my fucking ear than listen to that garbage. Never been a fan of like uber hippie stuff. Like Buffalo Springfield and Crosby, Stills and Nash and the Mamas and the Papas and that. No fucking, if you like it, that's great. Never been a fan. All right. Hang on just a second. Doing some maneuvers here. Make sure I keep an eye on my best girl out there. All right. Hi. How's it going? I thought I would be, I don't know, I thought there was absolutely no feelings about leaving California. No, not feeling sentimental. And maybe it's because I spent the last year in San Diego, and I don't explain that. So I grew up in San Diego, lived there until I was about 32. Then I moved up to San Francisco to be with Melissa, who was my girlfriend at the time. Then we got married. Now, I've known her since 1985. We dated a lot and broke up a lot, like, in high school. But, I mean, we always ended up back together. It was crazy. But I was, like, a crazed, drugged out criminal, so I was not the best boyfriend in the world. Bringing home stolen merchandise, weapons, bad people. I just wasn't the best boyfriend in the world. I'll admit it. So I followed up to San Francisco, lived there for 18 years, met some very nice people up there, had a comic store. But I mean, can I ever say I loved San Francisco? No, I did not. I never liked it very much. I'm not a city. I grew up in the suburbs. I'm fine with the suburbs, but like full on urban, not into it. But hey, she made more money than I did. That's fine, and I didn't have to love the place. I loved what I did. I loved the comic store. I had great clients, and to make people feel a little better, there's a lot of people. Most of the people I met in San Francisco were pretty cool, very common sense people. So they exist there. A lot of the problems come from how they vote in that town. Like a city council member can get voted in with 5,000 votes. I'm not fucking kidding. It's crazy. And it's corrupt as fuck. That city is just corrupt as hell. So I lived up there. Once the mandates hit, we're like, and I said this on a live stream, I'm gonna be a good citizen. I'll wait the 2 weeks. I'll work, I'll do what I'm saying, and then we'll see what happens. And if it goes longer than 2 weeks, it's bullshit. And I knew it was bullshit. We knew it was bullshit, so we tried to write it out for a couple more months. They kept us shut down. They were going to open us back up, and then they shut it back down. And then when they opened it back up, it was at 10% capacity, 15%, 25%, and none of it made sense at all. Gyms were closed, but you could go into a fucking grocery store. You could go to a fucking McDonald's, but you couldn't go to a fucking gym or a salon. None of it made any sense. And they were barking at us that it's the science, TM. We knew it was bullshit. We knew it was going to go on. Once we saw this, I mean, I've lived in California all my life. The place has completely changed. And when you have one party in power, and you know what? With a lot of people, it's the party you agree with. That's great. But you're not going to get any change. There's no incentive for them to change. And guess what? They didn't. So we recognized that pretty fucking early on. So we're like, fuck this. We're out of here now. My wife at work, she was close enough to retirement. Plus her landlord at first, I don't think took the lockdowns that seriously. And she was up for re-upping her lease. And he came back at us with like, minimum couple years. We're like, fuck no. So we told him no. He came back, and after we made the decision, he came back like 8 months later going, oh, sorry, yeah, I'll do like month to month. We're like, too late, dude, sorry. My wife had an opportunity to work down in San Diego. Her dad was alive at the time. My mom was sick. Her dad was sick. We're like, fuck it, let's be near family. Let's go down there right now. That way it'll give us a year to get the house ready for sale. And it took a year and 3 months to get the house ready for sale. House sold pretty quick. But that's why we went down to San Diego, was just to be near family. And San Diego was a little more lax with their rules than San Francisco, although they locked everything down at one point too. And yeah, so we leave, and the mask mandates are dropped for most of the state, but all the other mandates are still there. And we're getting more and more news every day that there's just a lot of bullshit out there. It's a lot of bullshit. And because it's been politicized, people will be entrenched in their side. At no point are we saying that there isn't like this thing out there that can get people sick and can be very dangerous to some people. But we're also not, like, if we want to talk about like actual science, then, you know, we should be freely talking about like keeping yourself healthy and keeping myself healthy. Thankfully, we live in America where we can go to a different state where there's complete different rules. There's the free state of Florida, there's Texas. What doesn't get talked about a lot is South Dakota. That's a good state. Houses are cheap there. Yeah, the winters are tough, but it's a pretty cool state. I spent a lot of time there because that's where my dad was from. So I have a little soft spot in my heart for South Dakota. Yeah, there's a lot of other places to go. Some of our friends in other countries cannot, which is fucked up. But we're starting to see things change, and that is good. That is good. Trudeau's a fucker, though. Wow, that guy is a fucker. I saw the whole thing where he called the conservatives, said sympathizing with the swastika, and then they demanded an apology, and the guy was just a punk. He was a fucking punk. And crazy tin. I just think this guy is such a puppet. I think he's just a puppet. Like somebody had their hand up his ass and is just making him squawk. Because the guy just doesn't look that smart to me. I know a lot of the ladies and some of the guys thought he's so dreamy. We had a lot of that in California here with Gavin Newsom, believe it or not. But shit, it got so crazy, and we never thought we'd be in this position. I never thought I'd be, 2 years ago, March 16th, 2020, did I think I was going to be moving to fucking Texas? No. But one of the things that bothered most was our tax money was paying for this shit. Paying for the indoctrination of children, bizarre fucking laws, mandating private businesses, all kinds of shit. But like, if my wife had kept her salon, she would have had to either broken the law, or she would have to choose between her clients. So we would be participating in enforcing government mandates that we fundamentally do not believe in, disagree with 1,000%. This was crazy on my wife, right? And the entire family. I had my family spread out between 3 states at one point while we were trying to get the house ready. Everything's been insanely expensive because it's California. And moving out of California right now, the prices have quadrupled. Fucking-drupled. I won't even tell you how much the fucking moving truck costs. But it makes my soul hurt. But it was worth it. It's freedom. And not everybody's in that position. And I understand that. And we were in that position because, well, shit, we had worked our asses off, and we're on, like, the downhill part of our career. I'm getting AARP shit in the mail, just to let you know. So if this happened when I was in my 30s, I'd probably still be there. Shit, if it happened in my 40s, I'd probably still be there. But this was all stuff that we had done prior to YouTube. YouTube, thank God YouTube was there, though. It was never, ever, ever meant to be the main job. So we put ourselves in a position to where our kids are going to be okay. But fuck. It's getting dark. We have to change glasses. Hang on. This is always a bit tricky. You guys can see it live. Part of being blind. Yeah. There we go. So like, yeah, a year and a half this is taken, and I'm about an hour away from my new fucking house and my new studio, and I can't wait to see it. But holy shit, was that a pain in the ass. Whew, glad it's over. So the sun is going down, big. Again, I'm sorry I couldn't read the chat. I'll be live again tonight on this channel, and I'll read, I saw we got some soups, so I'll read those. It'll be late tonight, probably around, hang on, I'm still on Pacific time. So yeah, it'll be about 10:30 Central. And that's my wife. Holy shit, that was loud. I hope that didn't get you guys. All right, I gotta wrap this up. Talk to her. Thanks, everyone. And take care of yourselves. Friday Night Touch tomorrow with Yellow Flash. All kinds of fun stuff. I'll see you later tonight on this channel. And thanks to the mods. And thanks to everyone who participated. Bye.